Hello, 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 everybody, and good evening, and welcome to Leadership Live 2021, week 29. Let's just take a pause for week 29. Week 29, we are in the 29th week of 2021. That is absolutely phenomenal to me. We have made it. We are here. We have led our lives in a way that has led us to the 29th week of 2021. And for that, I say congratulations. Congratulations to you and you and you and you. And for those of you all who are like, what in the world is Leadership Live? And lady, who are you? Well, first and foremost, Leadership Live is a sharing of journeys. It's a sharing of journeys. It is a leader who's going to talk about their experiences and the lessons they've learned along the way and lessons that you can learn from on this path as well. And who am I? Oh, me. I'm Dr. Anita, and I am an educational leadership strategist who works with aspiring and growing leaders to help them with their authenticity, to help them empower their fellowship. Yes, I said fellowship and meant it. And at the end of the day, have a greater impact. I am also a veteran educator, having served grades kindergarten through college. I am a wife and mother of four. I birthed two kids and I own two kids. And because of that blend, I am also the author of Stepmom's Trial, Tribulations, and Triumphs, editions 1 and 2, as well as While You Are Sleeping, the Perfect Children of All Ages book. I am also the founder of The Refining Life, whose mission is to provide you with experiences to lead, to have your mindset shifted so that you can lead a more positive and productive life. And I am also a speaker. I am a motivator. I am a mentor, a mentee, and I am a queen. Those crowns aren't up there for nothing. I'm a queen. And I'm a queen. I am the current reigning Mrs. Black North Carolina, as well as the East Coast USA National Talent Performer of the Year and the Elite Southern Charms North Carolina Ultimate Grand Supreme. And I am ecstatic to be here with you tonight. So all of those positions, wife, mother, queen, educator, educational leadership strategist, all of them involve leadership. I am so excited to come to you with my experiences, but even more excited to share some of my amazing and awesome friends with you. So I'm getting ready to bring a beautiful young lady into the screen. She is another doctor as well. And here she comes, Dr. Toya Corbett.
Hey, Dr. Anita.
Hello, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you this evening?
I am doing well. So everybody, let's give us some good energy because this is the late night hour. We're trying to pump her with all that goodness. So thank you. And I see in the comments, Yolanda McCormick wanted me to remind everybody that I'm also a coach. Yes, I do one-on-one coaching as well. But this beautiful lady right here, I had the awesome chance to meet her, but I actually met her parents first. I heard of her, didn't know who she was, but I met her awesome parents. And then at not so happenstance at a cookout of some mutual friends, we got to meet. And I had the pleasure of having a life connection with this awesome being. But I'm going to step back and I'm going to allow you to tell the people about you and how little wonderful and amazing. It's not even little, it's big. It's a huge topic for tonight.
Dr. Anita, first of all, thank you for inviting me on to your show tonight. I am extremely humbled by this opportunity. I am Dr. Toya Corbett. Some know me as the Etiquette Doctor, others know me as the Black Genius Lady from Black Genius Apparel. But I am in higher education. I've been in higher education now for 17 years. I currently serve as the Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs for the UNC System Office. Prior to that role, I was at North Carolina Central University as the Assistant Vice Chancellor and Dean of Students for 4.5 years, and I spent 10 years at the Morgan State University, a historically Black college in Baltimore, Maryland. But I am a native North Carolinian, and I attended UNC Charlotte for my undergraduate degree. But I've been in higher education now for 17 years, which I absolutely love, working with students and helping to create sustainable solutions for education. That's my day job, but my other job consists of being the Etiquette Doctor, where I provide dining etiquette and business training And I also coach. I'm a career coach focused on Black women and their careers. My goal is to help women navigate the market with courage and confidence. I'm also the owner of Black Genius Apparel. I sell T-shirts that have printed on them Black Genius or HBCU Genius, because HBCU and Genius is a phrase that most people don't put together. But I believe that HBCUs create geniuses every day. But tonight I'm here as the etiquette doctor to talk about navigating the job market again with courage and confidence. And I want to focus on what I call the 5 mistakes women make during a job search. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yes. Okay. So for everybody watching who's not looking for a job, now this is what I want you to understand. Job searching and navigating is this can cross many lines. So let's not think that I don't need to watch tonight because this is not for me. Yes, it is. Especially if you are an entrepreneur. Let's start there. If you are an entrepreneur, you are constantly looking for the new job because you are constantly bringing on new clients. You're constantly bringing in new people. If you are on a corporate job or in education, if you're trying to excel and move to new levels at all, which I hope all of you are, I hope you're aspiring to grow, then you are looking for the new job. It may not be particularly where you have to write a resume for, but take yourself to the next level. So don't think that this is not for you because you're not on a job search right now. Please believe you're searching for something. And I'm sure these 5 tips will help you. So let's just clear that up in the air. So, okay. Do you want to go by Dr. Toya, Dr. Corbett?
Toya is fine.
Toya is fine. So Toya, you brought up some interesting things in your introduction. One, you're the etiquette doctor, which I love. And I love that you are bringing etiquette beyond a table. I think a lot of people think about etiquette and they only think about like when you're going to a fancy meal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Etiquette goes so far beyond that. So what brought you to this etiquette space and how does it attach to these 5 mistakes that people make?
Great question, Dr. Renita. When I was living in Baltimore and working at Morgan State, this is a story that I always tell during my trainings because this is what really was the spark for me to begin this journey. I was at a dinner hosted by the Vice President of Student Affairs. He had some students over who had recently graduated. And on the menu that night, we were outside and he had cooked on the grill. He cooked the baked potatoes on the grill. So of course they were wrapped in aluminum foil. I watched a student who had just graduated with his engineering degree from Morgan, and Morgan has one of the top engineering programs in the country. The young man took the baked potatoes still in the foil, put on his plate. He unwrapped the foil from the potato, and then guess how he ate it?
How did he eat it?
He picked the potato up and bit it. And I knew that the very next day that he was traveling to Chicago for a job interview. And I said to myself, if they take that young man to lunch or to dinner, he's not going to get the job. And I then started really teaching myself. But then I tell that story, but then I have my own personal story. When I was an undergraduate at UNC Charlotte, I had the awesome opportunity to serve on the national and international board of directors for Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So I was 19 years old, from small town of Burlington, Alamance County. And I knew a lot, but I did not know how to navigate a formal dining table. And I went to my first board meeting. And I remember sitting down and I didn't know which fork to use. I didn't know which way to pass the rolls. And I felt embarrassed. And I promised myself I would never place myself in that situation again. And then I have the experience at Morgan with the young man who picked the baked potato up and bit it. And I said, I must do something about this. I am a strong believer that when you make an observation, you have an obligation to do something about it. And so I'm a self-taught etiquette expert, but it's now been, gosh, probably 15 years that I've been teaching and training. And so I use that opportunity to start training the student leaders at Morgan, those who are in student government or in the royal court. We would have lunch or dinner, and I would take them through each course of the meal, showing them which fork to use. Why do you have so many spoons? Why do you have all these glasses? What to do with the napkin? But also how to have conversation at the table. What should you talk about, and what should you, more importantly, what should you not talk about, such as religion and politics? What you do when you're in a reception. I teach people still now, when you go to a networking reception, you are not there to eat. You are there to network. You are not there to eat. You're there to network. And when you get there, you don't go, if you see somebody you don't go and just talk to them. Again, they're not going to help you get a job because they're looking for a job too. So you're there to network. You're not there to eat. So don't go there and pile your plate up full of meatballs and chicken wings. And now you can't shake hands and you can't go around the room and meet other people. You're fumbling trying to get your business card out because you're licking your fingertips with um, barbecue sauce from the chicken wings. I can't stand that. So
Well, can I tell you what that puts me in the mind of? So one of my favorite shows growing up and even to watch now was the Cosby Show.
mm-hmm.
And I remember an episode where Theo, I guess he was in college,
Yep.
and he went with a friend because he was hungry. He simply went to this mixer because he was hungry, for a food company, I guess, that sold soup, was starting to do other things. And his friend was like, "It's free food if you'll come with me." And he said, "Oh, sure, let's go." So he went with him for the free food, and ends up, the first thing he does is it's a mistake you said. He walks in and he just starts piling up.
Pal his plate up.
He scribbled his name on his name tag. You could barely read it, but he ends up saying something to someone very poignant, and that person attached to it. And he called another coworker over and said, "Let's talk about this." But he could barely talk to the person because he had food and he had noodles dangling from his mouth. But he ends up landing an internship, which of course is not the most likely thing that would happen. It's not likely that you're going to have that moment where you say something that can be business changing to a corporation. But he did. But that just cracks me up because that was the very first thing he did. He went and piled that plate up.
So again, you're not there to eat. You're there to network, right? So I talk about all these things. I talk about how to dress for success. What is business professional? What is business casual? And I do like to focus on, my work is primarily with African American young men and women. And I tell them, you really need to dress for the job you want, not the job that you have. And in any situation, you probably should dress a level up because all eyes are on you. They're looking for you to make a mistake. They are looking for you to not perform well. But you're going to do just the opposite. So etiquette encompasses all of that. And it's something that I am very passionate about, that I would do for free. And I just love having these experiences with people, and they walk away learning so much more than what they started with. I guarantee all of my clients that you're going to be able to navigate the table with these within 60 minutes. I guarantee that.
Wow. Well, somebody apparently needs a 60-minute session immediately with the etiquette doctor. But I do want to talk about this, and then we'll launch into your 5. But I think about a lot of young people I've had an opportunity to work with, and not so young people. Like, and we're not talking about teenagers. I'm talking about like 20-year-olds or even in their early 30s. Some people who are starting to, like, they matriculate through college, they go all the way through a PhD. And so some of them start later with this job search or even career search or even business search. And you use the term of, dress for the job you desire to have versus a job, where you are. And it's a lot of people out there who are desiring this freedom. So I think the pandemic handed us some of these thoughts, but a lot of this was happening before. But it is like, they say, oh, my dream job is being at my house, owning my own company and just running it. My dream job is sleeping all day, or my dream job is being, free to be me. That, thinking about authenticity, they say that's my authentic self. I want to be comfortable. But I think about, so, you talking about this level up kind of idea. What if their vision does not match traditional norms? How do you, in that case, one, inspire them to be etiquette rich, and then also, but still stay within that authentic realm?
I highly encourage you to remain in your authentic realm. Don't get upset at the corporation or the organization or the agency that has let's give an example, that has a dress code that's quite the opposite of what you're used to, right? You may not be ready, or you may not be comfortable at Goldman Sachs. That still requires, a navy blue suit and also pantyhose, right? But places like Cisco or that are here in Research Triangle Park, I love something they have on their HR website, and it says, just come as you are. We don't care if your hair is blue, purple, or green, right? And I love that. So I tell students, and I tell my coaching clients, be mindful of the culture you are going into. Don't get mad and make them conform to you. You have to understand and do your research first about what the culture is at that company. I always say, go dressed in business for the interview. Do what you have to do to get the job, right? If you're a person who has a nose ring, or multiple holes in your ear, or you have tattoos that's showing, do what you have to do to be conservative to get the job. And once you get it, go into the office. If you see somebody else with a nose ring, you put yours back in the next day. If you see someone else with locks or their hair is green, hey, that's the kind of space you're in. But do your research first. Extremely important.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And I think that some people get frustrated when they walk into positions that won't conform to who they are. But that they had already proven themselves. They're being authentically the business they were before you came to the interview. They're going to be that business at least for a while after you arrive, unless you were just sent there to be the change agent.
Yep, that is true.
Yeah. So 5 mistakes. 5 mistakes. Let's see what's number one.
And I really focus this conversation again about women, and particularly Black women. There are 5 mistakes that women make. And one of the first things we do is that we don't shine. Number one is we don't shine. We tend to humble ourselves. You have lots of women, Black women particularly, walking around with advanced degrees, PhDs, and they downplay their abilities. They downplay their intelligence to make others feel comfortable. Instead of volunteering to lead a major project, we want to volunteer to be on the decorating committee or to take notes. I'm telling every woman now, stop volunteering to take the minutes or take the notes. You have removed yourself from the major conversation happening at the table because you're busy trying to take notes and you're not able to contribute. Stop doing it. Stop volunteering to do decorations because you think that's what women are supposed to do. Go and lead the major projects, right? Shine. Stop being humble and shine. And that comes out first in your resumes. When you're trying to get a job, if you're just putting basic information, kind of your day-to-day, and not including what your major accomplishments are at your job that you may have now or that you had before, you're doing yourself a disservice. Recruiters and employers want to know tangible information about you. What do you bring to the table? What have you achieved in the past that is evidence of what you're able to do if we hire you, right? Your resume should not be a replication of your cover letter. And stop sending out those the same cover letter for every job. Recruiters know that you're doing that, and most will automatically bypass your application packet when they see that you have you just slapped on a generic cover letter. You need to mention the company's name, right? You need to highlight what your achievements are. You need to say something about their mission or diversity statement or strategic plan. Let them know that you actually conducted research on the company, and that's what's going to give you more of an opportunity to get an interview. Also put important information. I've seen resumes lately where people don't even include their education.
Wow.
So Dr. Remember, when you think about when you're applying for a job, what is one of the first requirements that an employer asks for?
It's your educational background.
Exactly. Or if you have like me, you have a 6-page resume, why is your education at the bottom? So now the recruiter is only going to take 5 or really maybe 7 seconds to skim down your resume. And I don't even know if you have a degree, guess what? I'm moving on to the next one. I'm moving on to the next one, right? I also believe in data-driven resumes. Let me know how many people you supervise in your staff. If you've managed a budget, you need to include that number. If you are a grant writer and you've been awarded $500,000 or $2 million in grants, you need to put that on your resume. If you have improved customer service by 20% over the last 2 years, put that data in your resume. That shows the employer or the recruiter what you come to the table with, and that what helps you to rise or shine above all the other applicants. Those things are so important. So, ladies, stop being humble. Stop being generic because you are amazing, and shine. You want to be the brightest star in the sky or the brightest star in that application pool so you get the interview and you also land the job.
Yeah. And so thinking about that on the flip side, so let's say you're not job searching. Maybe right now you're client searching, or you are, trying to get a sale. The shine principle still takes place.
Mm-hmm.
People need to know what you do and what you can do and what you have done, which is why I love that Yolanda jumped on me the second she heard me not say that I was a coach. She's like, oh, no. Tell them what else you do. Don't be afraid to shy away from it. And I think that for a while, I felt really weird doing my intro on this show because it sounds braggadocious. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you facts. This is what I've done. This is what I do. I am regularly trying to grow as a leader, but people need to know where I'm growing from. You need to know where I'm growing from. And sometimes you are job searching and you don't even know you're looking. Why? Because people are watching you.
And on that note, you need to always have your resume updated, because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That'll preach all by itself right there.
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I tell people all the time, if someone called you tomorrow morning, offered you a new job, doubling your salary, and said, all I need is your current resume, would you miss out on the opportunity?
Honey, when I say I would, I don't know if fingers could type so fast.
Right.
Like that Kermit the Frog and that GIF.
Right. So update your resumes. I some people would say once a year or twice a year. I say every quarter or every time you have a new achievement. Okay, you get a new job or an achievement, add that to your resume. If I do a speaking engagement or I present at a conference or I get an award, I automatically go ahead and add it to my resume.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So thinking about resumes, so some of us have resumes that still include, and we're beyond 30, and we still have our high school accomplishments on there. Is it time to let them go?
It's been time to let that go. It's been time to let that go. After really, once you enter your first year of college, when you have a college degree on your resume, they know you have a high school diploma, right? So after your first year of college, that needs to drop off your resume. And
Awesome. Awesome.
it's also including things like what we call outdated technology. You don't need to say that you know how to use a fax machine or a Xerox machine or Microsoft Word. Like everybody and their mama knows how to do that now. It doesn't need to be on your resume.
All right. So to the dinosaurs out there, let it go. Let it
Yes.
go.
Yes.
And even if you have not received, like maybe you got the highest football or the highest softball award in high school, and maybe you've not been award rich since. It's okay. Let it go. Let the rest of your accomplishments and your life experiences speak for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
Number two, we're gonna move on to number two, Dr. Anita, which is one of my favorites. This is what I call a Toya Corbettism. Presentation is everything. Presentation is everything. Ladies, how you show up is critical. You know, there's been all this conversation over the last month with Monique talking about our sisters going to the airport and the grocery store with, the bonnets on. I was in total agreement with that. All my students, they know if they got caught on campus with pajamas on or their hair wrapped, oh, you going back to your room. You gonna come back when you're ready to leave the house. But I always say first impressions are a lasting impression. How you show up is so important. Your attire, ladies, black is not black. Black is not black. Go and buy, when you buy your black suit, you go to Macy's, Belk, Dillard's, wherever you go, buy the black pieces together. You can't piece your black jacket from Banana Republic with your skirt from Ann Taylor. They look differently. And so when you interview with me, I'm going to be probably paying more attention that you have on these two different blacks than what's coming out of your mouth, right? Your hair in particular should be combed. It should be tamed. Natural hair it is being more and more accepted. I went natural now. 7 years ago, would have never thought I would have did this, but it's always done. So I don't think I've had encountered any issues with my hair, but be mindful that your makeup, nails, there's this new thing with these pointed nails. You don't need to wear that to your interview. Or if they're blue and green and neon, you know what? Go with the French tips or just, the subtle reds. They're fine because that's what we wore years ago, right? But make sure they're not those very long nails and these eyelashes. Can we talk about the eyelashes? I was looking at this sister today, like I had no idea what she was talking about because I was so focused on these long eyelashes. Those are for Friday night, Saturday night, right? And maybe even Sunday morning if you're going to church. Leave them at home for the job interview. I know you think you're cute, but leave them at home for the job interview. Follow the office culture. Presentation is everything. We are judged by what we look like first before we ever open our mouths.
Yeah, and whether we want it to be so or not. But I will say, like you said, though, read the culture. Read the culture. There is a phenomenal women's brand. She does jewelry, she does clothing, makeup, and all of that good stuff. But part of what she sells are lashes. Now, if you're going to interview with her, and you want to do a nice lash, behoove you to go in there as the culture. You've watched this culture. She's very transparent. She has a lot of things on the internet. You know how it is to work there. You go in there fashionable. You go in there with your makeup on, your lip, your lashes. You can do all of that there. But that's not everybody's culture.
Right. Be mindful of that. Follow the office culture. Remember, first impressions are a lasting impression. Learn how ladies give a firm handshake. We're back to shaking hands again if you've been vaccinated. A firm handshake is a sign of respect. And men, that's important to them, right? But it's also important to me, make sure when you walk into that space, you introduce yourself. Don't wait for other people to come up to you. Because again, you want to shine. You want to make a great first impression. Speak your name clearly. I always say that as people of color, we have very colorful names. So speak your name clearly. Be mindful of your verbal and written communication. Do not respond to that request for an interview as if you are responding to a text message. Be mindful of what's on your voicemail. Do you have a song that may be deemed inappropriate by a recruiter? Just have that, the recording that Verizon and AT&T have. That's probably your best bet. So use that formal language. Also, this is where that dining etiquette comes in again, because presentation is everything. A lot of employers now are taking you out for lunch or to dinner during your interview. They want to know, can you represent the company well?
Mm-hmm.
They want to know, do you know how to, do you have decorum at the dinner table, right?
Right.
You don't want to alcohol. I don't care if you're 45, 55 years old for that interview. You want to say no, thank you. And again, because you're not there to eat, you're there to interview and get a job. But make sure you eat, but don't be so focused on the food, right? Don't be focused on the food. And now with a lot of interviews via Zoom, presentation again is everything. I always advise that you put on your entire suit. With this Zoom culture, everybody's putting on a nice shirt and your pajama bottom or your sweats or your shorts. You may stand up, you may forget, and here you are on Zoom. But I might get into that full interview mode by being fully dressed, and so that you're on. Make sure you log on at least 5 minutes early. We tend to wait to the last second when we're on Zoom. Log in early because they see when you log in. Have proper lighting. Again, dress if you were there in person. Practice the presentation if you have one, because it's so different when you can't necessarily be in a space with someone. Again, presentation is everything, and it also goes towards your social media. When you apply for a job, they see your name, they're going to automatically Google you. So they're going to look at your LinkedIn profile, which you should have done. They're going to maybe try to follow your Facebook, your Instagram, if they're open. I hope you know that when you delete a post, doesn't necessarily mean it's deleted. Your Twitter, everything. Presentation is everything. And at the end, make sure you send a follow-up thank you note, because that helps you make a first and lasting impression. But that's number 2.
Yes.
Number 2, presentation is everything.
All right. What's number 3 for us?
Number 3 is what I call do more than just lean in, step all the way in. A little over 10 years ago, there was a book that came out by Sheryl Sandberg, who is the current COO of Facebook, and was Lean In. Many people thought this was written from the perspective of a white privileged woman. I thought the book had some great nuggets, first couple of chapters that I still live by. And it helped to push me out there. But I say do more than just lean in, because when you're leaning in, you're just leaning in, looking in the room, right? And for us, we need to be in the room, sitting down at the table. So when I say do more than just lean in, it means do more. You step in the room and then sit down at the table. So again, we tend to want to just volunteer to do those projects that have less visibility. You get mad when you don't understand why someone was promoted over you, why you didn't get the raise you thought you deserve. Well, you haven't gone the extra mile, and we have a tendency to think, well, they ain't paying me nothing, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. That's why you're not getting the opportunities with an attitude like that. I believe in stacking your deck, right? When you're stepping all the way in. When I say stack your deck, this is my concept of volunteer to take on those major projects without expecting to be paid more money. Right? Well, where you are, and money will come. So when it's time for someone to be promoted, they're going to say, hey, you remember when Renita led that very successful project for us. That's how you get noticed. That's how you do more than lean in. You step all the way in and you stack your deck. When I was at NCCU, as an administrator, I think we had a team member to leave on a leadership team, and I volunteered to take their departments. I didn't ask for more money, but that was an opportunity for me to learn now other areas within the university, which prepared me for the role that I'm in now. I went from working with one university to 17 to 16 because I stacked my own deck and I stepped all the way in. So, ladies, stop doing minimal and get out there and do the best that you can every day so that you are noticed, and now that you have more opportunities coming for you. So that is where we are. Number 3, do more than lean in, step all the way in.
And I love that when you stepped all the way in and you took that opportunity, you weren't afraid when your next opportunity came from outside of where you were. Some of us get so stuck on wanting to promote where we are because we're comfortable there and we want to get more there, that we get afraid to go and step out and do something else. So I love that picture of strength and bravery. So in addition to your stepping in, you also stepped out. Not in a bad way, but to your next place of opportunity.
Absolutely. Be intentional and strategic about your next steps and how to navigate your career with confidence and courage. Because by doing it, you're building your confidence every step of the way.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. What's this good old number 4 you got for us?
Number 4 is networking is more than an email. Ooh. Networking is more than an email. We tend to just kind of shoot off an email to people we don't know and get mad when they don't respond or say what they want us to say. You got to be intentional, right? I get messages on LinkedIn in my inbox all the time. People asking for assistance. I say, yes, we're on the phone, and they have nothing to say. I'm like, okay, my time is precious, but I want to help everybody as possible. Be intentional. You have folks come up to you, and I'm sure this happens to you a lot, Dr. Renita. Will you be my mentor?
Mm-hmm.
Say that, and I'll say, well, why? Why? And then they start, kind of fumbling with their words. Well, if you're asking me, that means you should know more about me. You should have your reasons why. Mentor. I actually hate the word mentor. But a mentor relation is a mentor-mentee is a relationship. It's a commitment between two people. And if you don't have that commitment between both folks, it's not going to work. So Absolutely. You should talk about, have a conversation. This networking is more than the email. Have a conversation about, okay, how often are we going to communicate? Every 2 weeks, once a month. How are we going to communicate? Is it going to be a phone call? Are we going to meet for coffee? Are we going to meet over Zoom? Right? Mm-hmm. And what is the end goal? What are we striving to achieve? As my mentor, what do you need me? As your mentor, how do you need me to help you? What are your goals?
Right.
So it's more than the email. But there are 3 things you should have: a mentor, right? An advisor, and a sponsor. A mentor is that person you can go to and they kind of help guide your career and move to the next steps. An advisor is someone who can facilitate introductions to other people, or that person you may call, every 3 or 4 months when something major comes up and you say, hey, Dr. Renita, I need your advice on this, right? But that sponsor is someone who will be your champion when you're not even in the room, but they must be a person of influence. They are the decision maker. They are the person in the room that everybody looks to, right? They must be a person of influence. That is your sponsor. That is your golden ticket. That, they're at the boardroom and someone says, hey, it's time to promote new senior vice president. And me as your sponsor says, Dr. Renita has shown improved over the last 2 years that she can do the job. She shows up. And because I'm a person of influence, they say, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you want in your corner. So number 4, networking is more than an email. A mentor, advisor, sponsor.
Yes, Lord. All right, I'm almost afraid to ask for number 5, but go ahead and hand it to us anyway.
All right. Number 5 is ask for help. Ask for help. Use your resources, right? Hire a coach. You have me, you have the etiquette doctor, you have Dr. Renita. There anybody else out there who's providing a service, you need someone that holds you accountable. That can pour into you and give you some more tools for your toolbox. Or if you are recently out of college, I mean, even now through the pandemic, universities are allowing their alumni to use career centers on campus for free. And you can use their job search tool. They will review and revise your resume. They will do mock interviews for you. This is such a great resource that so many people miss out on. And I think as Black people, we tend not to want to spend money on those things that we really need. Then we'll go buy some new shoes and a new purse. When if you just spent that $200 on a session with a coach, and now you got a job making $20,000 more, you can have bought more shoes and the purse that you really, really want if you had invested that $200 differently.
Right.
So ask for help. Reach out to Career Center at your alma mater. Talk to someone you trust at your office if you're presently employed, someone at a senior level, or what I would say, someone who's in the position of where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, hire a coach.
Yes. All of that, yes.
All of
that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh my. I think that ask for help step, especially for a lot of Black women, I won't say all Black women, but for a lot of Black women, has gone to the contradictory places of where we're expected. We're expected to be so strong and so bold and, fight all the odds. And if you're fighting all the odds and going against it and going against the grain, you can't be a person that would humble yourself to ask for help. Yep. It's just so. If you ever wonder how other people get to where they are, 9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with what they know. It's all about who they know. All about the question that they asked. They got to an answer before you did, not because you couldn't get to the answer, but because they asked the question before you were willing to. There are a lot of opportunities that some of us miss. And I won't even just say Black women, but just people, period, because of pride.
Pride, yes.
It goes before the fall. If you're going to get to where you desire to be, we were made to be interconnected beings. Thus, we should ask for help. Thus, we should network with one another. Thus, we should communicate well. We should work in spaces together. That's how we were made to be. So don't be afraid to ask. It's the ask that will get you to the place that you desire, that you don't know how to get to. Because if you knew it, you'd be there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that you have given us 5 yummy tips. And so I'm going to review them. So we have, don't be afraid to shine. No, so that was number 1. Number 2, presentation is everything. And that is, so it's the look, the feel, the sound, the smell, the essence of you. That is your full presentation. Think of your presentation beyond your clothes. Number 3, do more than lean in, step all the way in. Don't be afraid to take those opportunities that may not present themselves as immediate money makers, but it could be impression makers. It could be putting this impression, this lasting impression beyond your first impression, but that lasting impression beyond. Do more than lean in, step all the way in. Number 4, networking is more than an email. Those true connections, honey. I love those 3 people we need. We need a mentor, we need an advisor, and a sponsor. And if you miss what those were, rewind. That's what the beauty of having this in places that stream. Rewind it. She told you all about it.
Yes.
And number 5, ask for help. Do not let your pride be your downfall. Do not let your pride be your brick wall. Bust through by speaking up and asking for what you need.
Yes.
My oh my. So I promised her that we would not go an hour. We have hit 45 minutes. And I know this could go another 15 minutes real easy. But I will
I'm
not
good.
let
I'm good.
but I think that these are 5 tips. Once again, you could take these into anything, not just in a job search. This is anything. You want to shine wherever you are. You were made to be a light. Shine. You can walk into any situation and you want to present yourself in the exact manner that you want to be taken, that you genuinely want to be taken, not the kind that you're just being defiant and going against the odds with, but how you really want to be taken. You can lean in and step into anything, whether it be in your job search, in your job place, or just in cleaning your room. Come on, children of the world and grown-ups of the world, clean your room, step all the way in, and don't just throw the sheets up, look under the bed, pick the stuff up, do life with a full step in. Networking, really connecting with people and having this mentor, this advisor, this sponsor for anything that you do. And finally, always ask for help. You were not made to do everything alone, and you don't have to. Do the things that you can, but the things that you cannot, ask for help.
Ask for help. And I'll say this for my fellow entrepreneurs. The same goes. You have to shine. If you don't talk about your business or promote your business, then who else do you expect to do that? Right? Don't think about it as, oh, I don't want anybody to think that I'm better than them because I'm talking about my business. Well, that's you see McDonald's commercials every day, right? They're promoting their business. So you should do the same. You should try and shine. Ask for help. If you're stuck and you don't know how to move to the next level, well, there's another successful entrepreneur that can reach down and help pull you up and give you some tools for your toolbox to learn that, right? Again, the networking. Go out to these receptions and these entrepreneur networking events. They're happening all the time now, particularly in person and online. This is so easy to do. They also hire a coach who will hold you accountable, because being an entrepreneur, the number one thing with it is staying focused and building resilience. There are days I'm like, oh, look, I have 2 coaching appointments tonight. I'm really tired. But guess what? My clients are dependent upon me. And so I have to show up. Right. And they're expecting me to have some information, right? Or tomorrow morning, I'm actually speaking at a conference. I'm going to give it in the morning. I'm going to read it. I'm going to be prepared. But it takes me staying focused to get all of these things done. People are like, how do you do this? You have multiple streams of income and you have a 9-to-5, right? Because I'm focused. I'm driven. I'm ambitious. And as a Black woman, you need to be all that to be successful.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, Toya, if they should want to get in contact with you for any reason, especially for Black Genius Apparel, which I years ago, I don't know, I was on somebody's site or post with my Black Genius t-shirt on. I wore it the 4th of July. It was red and white. I had on blue jeans. It was my red, white, and blue. So I had on my Black Genius t-shirt. They may want to get in contact with you for that. The Etiquette Doctor, everybody could use that. They might want to get in contact with you for that, or maybe they want to add you to their list of 3, mentor, advisor, or a sponsor. How can they get in contact with you?
My websites are theetiquettedoctor.com. So TheEtiquette, spell out doctor, DOCTOR. So theetiquettedoctor.com. You can contact me there, and blackgeniusapparel.com. You can find a Black Genius and HBCU Genius t-shirts, and my email is very simple: Toya, Toya at theetiquettedoctor.com. That's the best way to contact me. Can't remember that? Just hit my website, theetiquettedoctor.com or blackgeniusapparel.com.
All right. Well, I will drop those things in the chat. I just can't right now because this high production team is just me. So, but I will get those in the chat because all my technology is doing its own thing right now, but it has not stopped this. But I want to thank you so much for providing us such good insight on the searches that we have going on, whether it be a job search, whether it be search for further business, just search. You could just be searching to make yourself better and to help yourself grow in your own personal leadership. But whatever it is, we now have 5 tips, mistakes to avoid, along the way. So I want to thank you for that.
Ah, thank you for this opportunity. I love sharing this information because I believe in that old motto of lifting as you climb, and I want everyone to succeed. And so, if you want to learn more, if you want to contact me for coaching or what have you, Toya at theetiquettedoctor.com. I look forward to hearing from you. And again, Dr. Renita, thank you for inviting me on your show.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you for just sharing and being you on our on this broadcast this evening. And I told you all 29 weeks ago that I was not going to let you down. And for 29 weeks now, 29 whole weeks, I have had 29 incredible leaders here on Leadership Live. I told you. I was being honest. They are incredible people. So I am going to be back here for week 30 of Leadership Live 2021 next Monday with another incredible leader. Just be also ready. Be ready. But as always, I hope that you're doing wonderful and great. And I'm going to tell you that I love you and I advise you to keep always, always, always keep your leadership all the way live. See you next week. Bye.